Marsau, why you always lying? Why you always lying? Maurice, we are tired of hearing about this tree, this animal, this raccoon, this plow. What? Part 2 did what it was supposed to do. I ain't mad. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to This With The News. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos. If you are new here, please like, comment, and share this video. Hype the video up and join the family. Thank you. So today we will be recapping Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 11 Reunion Part 2. The final part of the reunion, they ate down. I'm not disappointed. Carlos asked some good questions throughout the whole reunion. So let's talk about what happened in Part 2. So the episode starts off on the tail end of like Nell and Kimmy's little blow up or whatever. She then says like, you know, I gave y'all the okay to talk to my husband at the party. You feel me? But Tisha came up to him doing too much. All in his face, you feel me? Just doing too much. Tisha said, no, I didn't. And they show a clip and she actually did. But you know what? She be off that liquor. That's what it be. Liquid courage. Why I say it like that? Liquid courage, okay? That's what it be. It be the liquor. She be forgetting, and you was in that man's face. Like, why you in that man's face? Your husband right there, like, girl, you was out of pocket. So Nell basically says, like, the same way you feel about your husband, I feel about mine. Nell says, the same way you feel about your husband is the same way I feel about mine. And Tisha said, I know, that's why I hold stuff back. Girl, shut the fuck up. First off. And Destiny like, see, that's a dig. That's a dig. The ones y'all say y'all don't be doing, that's a dig.
I said to Latisha, yeah, y'all can go over there and speak to the husband. I even told Kimmy them, you can go over there and speak to him. I'm okay. But it was like, okay, damn, let me get over here. Latisha going straight in on my damn husband. She all up in his damn face. No. Get over there. Get over there. Yeah.
They'll say the Scott sisters don't take shit seriously when it's something that they do, but when they feel something is done to them, then that's all they worry about. Like it's how they feel, and that's it.
The way you feel about your husband is the way I feel about mine.
I agree. That's
and
why
that's where the combative come back
You
and
be holding
forth
back stuff
between us two.
about her husband?
Yeah.
See, that's what the shots. Y'all say we don't do
Exactly.
it.
You're saying
Y'all not the motherfucking king and fucking queens of Huntsville. Like, y'all not. And I know they thought once Melody got off the show, Tisha thought she was gonna be top bitch, and Destiny came in and took her spot. Destiny ate down this season, okay? Clock the fuck in for real. Schools you on how to be main character. Yeah, take notes. Now, Carlos asked Nell, do she feel like Kimmy talked down on her? And she said, yeah, I feel like she talked down on me. She talked to me like I'm a child. And Kimmy was like, well, you'll be yelling at people all the time. And 100 people have said that they don't want you to yell and stop yelling at them. Nell does speak in a high voice. She does, but I don't think it's intentional. Like, you know them people that just talk loud? That's what Nell be giving, for real. Nell says just because Kimmy talks calmly doesn't mean anything. She still be hitting below the belt, and she do. Carlos asks Destiny, do she agree? And she said, yeah, she does it very eloquently. And the Scott sisters are so fucking irritating, so disgusting, so nasty, and so rude. Because Tisha gonna say, oh, you see that? Now they're ganging up on you. Now they're ganging up on you. Like, you're fucking childish as fuck. How they ganging up on her when she was asked the question? She asked the question about a host of the reunion. Girl, you reaching for a moment and it's not giving that. Like, this shows how childish you are, and it shows that everything you do, you're meaning to do. Cause she be giving this, oh no, I just be reacting to what y'all doing. No, babe. They didn't do nothing in there. And honestly, Destiny was keeping it cute all reunion. Even when she dropped the bomb about you said, divorce my husband or argue with you, she was calm when she said it. Carlos asked Kimmy, does she get triggered by Nell speaking in a high voice because of her childhood? And I don't remember if he said her dad or her mom, but she was like, you know, she just felt like it's disrespectful. And at times it does take her back to the moments. And listen, I have all the grace in the world for any type of trauma, but I also feel like if you dish something out, you have to be able to take that shit. You too fucking grown to not be able to handle the consequences of your action. Kimmy, you also speak to people in a high voice sometimes, and Nell being one of them. So for me, it's like you can't use your moments of vulnerability to like as a shield to be like what you saying or how you feeling is right. Because you do the same shit. So no, I ain't fucking with it. I ain't fucking with it. I'm sorry that you dealt with that as a child, but as an adult, it's up to you to figure out how to maneuver around your triggers. And that should be you speaking calmly to a motherfucker too. Carlos asked Kimmy, do she feel like Destiny and Tisha will be able to get back to being friends? And she says she feel like anything is possible as long as everybody is willing to be friendly. Now, Destiny say, move along. I know that's right. Move right the fuck along, because what? Girl, what? Shut the fuck up. My favorite thing to say, I swear this whole reunion, I was just like, shut the fuck up. Because all them, what? Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? But anyway, she say moving along, and Tisha goes, well, you know, Destiny is what? 40, 41, 42. At this point, it's like, I can't teach her how to be a friend. And I don't want to. And Destiny's like, girl, I got good friendships, and I'm a good friend. So I released you from my life. And she said, you didn't have to release me, I left. Whatever, moving on. So the cast takes a break and we get a clip of Carlos talking to Destiny and Nell. And Nell like, I think people keep forgetting that it was an innocent child involved, and anybody gonna turn up over an innocent child and will. Then we get a clip of Tisha and Kimmy in the back, like backstage in the dressing room. And she like, you know what? I didn't even really have a problem with Nell outside of her being loud. So I don't know where all that came from. Didn't you call her a bitch first? They probably edited it out. I don't know who called who a bitch first, but like, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. After the commercial break, we get the full cast back on stage. And basically we start to talk about the whole NDA thing. So Carlos asks Marital if he ever had a woman sign an NDA. He says no. He then asks Marsau if he believes that. And Marsau says, here's the thing. Y'all know how you do. Here's the thing. Maurice is a lawyer. Maurice is a lawyer and I'm intelligent. Chris says, and that don't mean a damn thing. Clock the fuck out of him, because it don't. It don't. You intelligent until you doing some dumb shit like having a woman sign the NDA and telling Marital ass about it. You're not that fucking intelligent, because I do think it was an NDA sign. And then he goes on to say like, oh, having somebody sign the NDA for discretion is a myth. Since when? Since when? What do you mean? They have people on reality TV shows sign NDAs after they get off the show for a certain amount of time so they won't tell about the shit that happened. No, it's not. Indiscretion is the name of the game in that industry. The industry you're in, reality television, entertainment. Like, please, I don't know what he be thinking, who the fuck he think he be fooling, but he don't be fooling me. I hope he don't be fooling y'all, because what the fuck is you talking about? Like, shut the fuck up. Y'all going to hear shut the fuck up a lot, okay? Because everybody was, the Scotts, they disgusted me. They really, like, you know what irritates me about them? Because they don't keep it real, but they be acting like they keeping it real. Like, I respect the motherfucker who not keeping it real, but don't put on like they keeping it real. The Scotts do, and that's what irritates me. One thing I did like is when Marsau said that, Marital didn't bite the bait. He said, okay, with a little smirk on his face. Cause like, yeah, don't beat a dead horse. If this nigga say he ain't cheated, who cares? Cause at this point, the only people who believe they didn't cheat is their wives. And honestly, they might not even believe that. Probably for the TV, they putting on like they, you know, don't believe it because they ain't ready to leave yet. But I don't even, honestly, I'm sorry. If I hear all these rumors about my husband, I'm gonna believe one or two. But I'm gonna believe one for sure. Like, all this shit can't be a lie. Why are they just choosing y'all to say y'all cheated? Who the fuck are y'all? Like, come on now. But then they bring up Vegas. So Carlos basically asked him to break down what happened in Vegas. He like, did y'all all share a room? Did y'all get a room for the side chick? Like, what happened? Marital is like, well, no. The only girl that flew into Vegas was Marsau's side bitch. And he like, so what happened? And he like, well, Marsau and Maurice, you know, did they thing with her together. And she wanted me, but I got up out of there. And, you know, they all was like, oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh. Of course, Marsau starts to say, listen, I don't even want to talk about that. Of course, you don't want to talk about your infidelities in front of your wife. Because shit might start clicking to her. We might not know all the details, but she know details we don't. So it might start clicking to her. Of course, you don't want to chat about that. We know. We know, nigga. Marsau asked Marital why he's so worried about his sexual relations. And he like, you know what? Listen, did you have sex with the lady in Vegas? And he said, no. He said, okay, I don't want to talk about it then. I don't want to talk. If you're not going to be real, I don't want to talk about it. And I feel it too. Like I said, I'm tired of talking about this same ass shit if a nigga ain't ready to put it on the flow. Put it on the flow. Put your marriage to the test for real. You feel like your marriage to the test already because it's business shit. Let's really put it to test. Let's really put on. Carlos asked Nell and Chris, do they believe that, you know, Marsau cheated in Vegas with the side bitch? And Chris said right off the bat, yes. Like right off the bat. He like, yeah, why would Marsau lie? Why would Marital lie? And then Nell, she kind of like glazed over it. She like, I don't know. Like, we talking about people marriages. But in the end, she said, yeah, I do believe it. And I believe it because I've dealt with this before and I have a gut feeling. And that's what led her to find out about her husband cheating. And she felt like she had this gut feeling with them. Carlos then asked the wives if they believe it. And of course they say no. But of course, like what did we expect them to say anything else? Like they believe that they men ain't cheated, but y'all niggas come in consistently at 2 something, 3 something in the morning. Y'all husbands have a million rumors about them cheating. Like, don't get me wrong, I know people in the spotlight, you know, rumors come out all the time about them. But let me just say something. How is it that all the rumors that was put out about Trish and Ken this season was true, but every single rumor that has been put out about the Scotts since season 1 isn't? I don't know, something ain't right in the water. Something ain't right in the water. So all they shit is true, but all y'all shit ain't. Oh, okay. Maurice started, you know, getting in his feelings. Y'all know how Maurice get. He started trying to talk hella fast, sit up, eyes get big. Y'all know him. And basically he's saying like, oh, Martell, you accused of everybody on cheating on this stage except for Kimmy. Now, Carlos asked Maurice like, well, you say that you have like a unique thing about your penis. And he starts naming things off. Like, does it have vitiligo? Does it, what do you say? Something. I'm circumcised. Like, saying all these things. So he's saying no, but he's not saying what it is. So he asked Kimmy, like, so what's so unique about it? And she said, it curves perfectly to me. So you saying you got a curved penis? Nigga, you ain't the only one with a curved penis. Like, that's not as unique as you think, okay? It really ain't. So they then start to talk about the DUI, and basically he like, so what happened with the DUI? What happened? Because now you said in a year you could talk about it. The year is now. He said, well, I hit the animal, didn't treat in the pole, whatever. I got a concussion. I got out the car. The police came. I went to the hospital. I was in the hospital from 4 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then I was booked to jail at 12 because they thought I was drunk, because I was incoherent. He said he never took a blood alcohol test, no type of test like that. Something's not adding up. I was thinking like, well, that's a long ass time to be in the hospital for a concussion. Like, I feel like maybe, I don't know, honestly, it might not be because it is a head injury, but I think that is a little excessive. Now, he says that the reason why people thought that it happened at 12 because he got booked at 12, but really the accident happened at 4-ish in the morning. Carlos then asked Kimmy, like, so when did you find out? Like, he didn't make it home. She was like 4 or 5 in the morning. And he said, what did you do then? After, what did you do? Because she said she was asleep. He said, so what did you do when you seen he wasn't home? She said, go back to sleep. Wait, what? What? Something ain't adding up. Once again, how the fuck? Okay, listen. She dropped Maurice off to his car around 3:15. That was the story originally. 3:15, she dropped him off to his car, meaning he should have been home right after you. So, okay, you fall asleep or whatever. You wake around 4 or 5, see he's not home. You don't get worried? Because you dropped him off to his car, so you don't get worried like, hey, where the fuck my husband at? I dropped him off to his car, he should be home by now. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Because she tried to say, oh, I'm not his babysitter. Like, I'm not worried about, where he's a babysitter? No, you're his wife. Like, the fuck is you talking about, bitch? You're his wife. That's what a wife would do. You would be wondering where he at because you dropped him off his car to come home and he's still not home at 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, okay, like, that's enough. Enough of the bullshit, please. Tell the truth. Like, tell the truth, shame the devil. Carlos asked Nell, do you feel like they being transparent? She was like, no. But they being as transparent as they will be, yes. She said the only way, like, a person wouldn't be worried is if this was normal for them. Clocked that real bad. She clocked that real bad. That's the only way. If this is a normal occurrence, that's the only way you wouldn't be worried. Because I would. I would, okay? So then Kimmy stick the foot in her mouth again because she said, oh my gosh, y'all already know, I've said this already since season 1, that they come in at 2 in the morning all the time and I don't like it. Okay, so let's rewind that. You don't like that they come in at 2 in the morning, but you're telling me when your man wasn't home by 4 or 5 in the morning, you didn't give a fuck and you went back to sleep because you're not his babysitter? The two is not adding up. You can't feel one way this way and then feel one, you feel me? You're lying. I don't even know why she said that. You should have kept that detail. You really should have, because it didn't help your case at all. Then we get Marsau's and Tisha's package, and of course y'all know their whole thing was about the business thing, and that not working out and where that's gonna lead their marriage. After the package, the little video is put together, is shown, you know, they start talking about it. And honestly, I'm gonna be real honest. This is the only part I feel like Carlos didn't give us enough for, because why didn't you ask Marsau directly? So when you said that, do you mean you wanted to divorce your wife? Are y'all heading towards divorce? What did you mean by this? Tisha, what did you mean by this? Like, it should have been more questions like that. For the most part, they just touched on the same thing we already knew. Tisha said that she feels like she don't know her place in the business because Marsau be pushing her out. He pushed her out of the SCO office, which is why she wanted her office to be done. She doesn't know where to start. And Marsau like, well, you want to be this boss, this businesswoman, but you also want to be a PTA mom. You can't be both. Like, you can't be both. We be having meetings and you gotta go to pick the kids up. You gotta go to a PTA meeting. That doesn't work. She like, well, you schedule y'all meetings around the time I gotta pick up and drop the kids off. He said, people come to construction sites early in the morning. Like, that's just how it works. We can't stop the meeting because you gotta go drop the kids off, which is understandable. Like, I completely understand that. And Tisha starts to say like, you know what? I think I'm just need to find me. Like, I'm trying to find me. And I can get that as well. As a mom, as a wife, I understand that as well. You do not want to lose yourself in this cycle of being just that. But Tisha seems like she's just literally going in a circle. Everybody is confused. Because even watching this, I was like, okay, do you want to work? Do you not want to work? Do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Do you want to be a boss? Like, I was confused at what she wanted to do, honestly. I didn't get the answer until she started talking a little more. Because she was like, well, you know, because Carlos asked her something like, what is it that you want, basically? And like, do you enjoy being the mom at home? She says she wants to, you know, structure her family life and do that at home. She loves doing that. Okay, so it sounds like you want to do that. But then she goes to say like, you know, I want my businesses. I want to do this. I mean, you can do both. Technically, you can. I think these men are very Southern with it, and they use Southern tactics and Southern methods and Southern rules in their marriage. I'm not from the South, so I don't know what that's like. And that's really what it was giving, because he didn't ask Marital, like, Marital, what do you think? And he said, listen, honestly, Marsau said from the beginning that he wants to be the one to make the money, and Tisha is at home with the kids. And he was like, Tisha is a great mom. She thrives there. So I think she should do that. Because how is it you getting lost in your family and your kids? Like, those are your family and your kids. I didn't like that. You know why I didn't like that? Because I don't like men telling women what they can and can't do. Like, I do think Tisha can be a boss and a mom. I do think she can be both. Now, can she like work under her husband and be like in construction and shit? Probably not. But if she got her own little thing going, she can do both. Like, she can. So yeah, stop telling women what they can't do. Please, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what Southern thoughts or Southern, no, fuck all that. This is not 1989, 1963, 1954 anymore, okay? We are out here working and getting to the bag just as much as y'all. But Tisha, you have to understand what you really, really want to, though. Because at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. Because even Kimmy said, you know what? I'm down for whatever Tisha want to do, but honestly, I'd be confused too. I don't know what she want to do. One way she this way, one. And you know what I think it is? She has the abundance to choose. She has the choice to choose. And a lot of people don't have that. So I think she won it all. And she's like, you know what? I love my life. I love the life that we built. And I have to make sacrifices. That's what she said. I have to make sacrifices. Marsau did get a little emotional during the conversation. And he was like, you know what? You buy somebody 10 acres and you building your dream house on the side of a hill for them. It's like, what more can I do? He was like, I don't know where to go from here. What more can I do? I don't know, my boy. I don't know, nigga. Now, once again, I feel like that conversation still left things in the air, and probably it's because they still filming next season. Like, they started filming next season, so maybe he wants us to, you know, tune into next season. We already was gonna do that. You could have gave us a little bit more of this conversation, like a little bit more questions, a little bit more understanding, just to get a little bit more clarity, because I feel like we was left on the cliffhanger a little bit. Like, I really do. One thing Carlos did ask Marsau was, do he feel like they won't figure it out in time? And I took that as in time for them to work it out, like work the marriage out. He didn't say nothing, which says a lot, because I'm gonna fill in a blank. You leave a little space open, I'm gonna fill it in myself. Now we get Chris and Nell's package, and Chris says, you know, update on his license is it's still revoked. The maximum time is 2 years, but he is working with his attorney to get that lowered, and that's all he can talk about. Now, Carlos asked Nell about her kids because Lance is also there, and you know how she feel about everything that's going on with that. And she was like, you know what, I do a lot for my family, and I feel like when it's time to do for me, nobody shows up. And yeah, that got to be irritating. And you got boys, like, if y'all don't get to it, nigga. Then Carlos starts to talk about Lance and Destiny's relationship, and he was like, well, why you didn't tell Destiny you had a baby on the way? And he was like, because he didn't know if it was his or not, and he wanted to make sure it was his before relaying that information to her. That's not how that work. Nigga, that is not how that work. You could tell me that you possibly have a baby on the way. Like, and then when you find out if it is yours or not yours, you could tell me that too. Like, don't withhold the information until the baby comes. Like, that was slimy as fuck. Because he then goes on to say, like, he had the intentions of being exclusive with Destiny and maybe one day even getting married. And Destiny like, what? Why you didn't tell me that? I didn't know that. And she was like, he said, we had conversations about the future. She was like, yeah, but you didn't say that. You wasn't clear, nigga. Be clear. Carlos then asks Lance, does he still have feelings for Destiny? And he says, no, not in that regard. And she said, interesting. Meaning he's probably lying. We know niggas be lying. We know niggas be faking they front. We already know. Because honestly, every time Lance is around Destiny, he just seems so like giddy happy. So I ain't falling for that shit at all. Now, somebody on stage, I don't know who said it, but they was like, Destiny want her cake and eat it too. She like to have her cake and eat it too. And Destiny said, I like cake. And Carlos said, oh, really? Did you eat some of his cake? She said, no. Did he eat some of your cake? And she winked. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yeah, don't give it up, but you can do whatever you want. You can get down here and, okay. I know that's right, Destiny. Destiny having it her way. I love that for her. Carlos knows he has, then asked him if they have been intimate. And he like what do you mean? He was like, have you seen her private parts? Has she seen your private areas? And they still was just looking. And then Lance finally said, you know, we had intimate moments. Okay, I'll take that. That's enough. Then he tells Destiny that out of all the prospects, all the bachelorettes, well, all the bachelors, he feel like Lance is the best one and she should choose Lance. That's where the show ended up off. They toast, of course. We do see some of the castmates like get up after the toast. I did notice that Maurice walked over to Martel. You know, Maurice always trying to clear the air instantly. Like, y'all know how he get, whatever. But yes, that was a great motherfucking season. Season 11 was great. I can't wait for season 12. I feel like this season was, you know, we got a lot of intel. Not enough, but a lot of intel. And from what I know, I believe Trisha is now single. Like, somebody showed a clip. It was like circulating on social media on her on Pop the Balloon. Somebody's Pop the Balloon. And I'm in the comments and they're like, yeah, I don't think she would can no more. Well, that's news for me. That's tea for me. So this season coming up should be interesting. I cannot wait to see. I hope we got some new people on the cast. Like, I really would love a new couple on the cast. Carlos, get to work, please. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hype the video up, please, please, please. I am on a road to 1K followers. I thank y'all for fucking with me, for real. Y'all some real ones. And also, we can't forget, drop a purple heart below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.